Hello everyone, it's Antony here. Thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. This is just an excerpt from a conversation that I had with a friend of mine on the best way to deal with criticism in a relationship. Now, in the long run, criticism probably isn't the most effective way to offer constructive feedback to a loved one, particularly if it's unsolicited, as it will often damage the goodwill in a relationship. And it's goodwill that makes relationships work. It's goodwill that makes us want to do things for each other and come closer together. Ideally, you're going to want to replace criticism with direct requests of what we want from each other and expressions of our feelings and needs if we need to talk about it more to find out what it is that we're looking for. But here are a couple of really important tips for staying on the same side even when criticism arises. Here we go. First of all, you want to acknowledge what they're feeling and what they're saying and get clear and ask questions, and then maybe somewhere down the line then you can maybe mention, well, on the other hand, I've also experienced this from you, and bring in a fuller picture of things. But the first thing that you want to do is actually just acknowledge and paraphrase what the other person's saying so that they know that you hear them.
That is good advice. Honestly, you know what? It's weird because every time you mention this kind of thing, I think, wow, that would be really good. That would be really good advice if you ever get into an argument with someone. But honestly, I can't remember the last time I was in an argument with someone.
Well, that's the best way. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's nice to hear that, I guess. But no, I think it's like, I don't know.
The point of doing that is to create a non-oppositional relationship, so that instead of having an argument, you can have a discussion about what that person's needs are, what their feelings are, what your needs are, what your feelings are, and how everyone can get their needs met. Now,
yeah, that's good. I mean, that is better advice. Before you mentioned it though, my kind of go-to way of doing it would be, if I truly meant it, I would probably say something like, "Well, I can see how you'd feel that way."
Right.
But
and then the best thing to do would be to actually demonstrate by saying, "So if I get you right, you're annoyed because of X, or you're frustrated because of Y." Or this, that would be the first thing to do. And that doesn't mean you have to agree with them. You don't have to agree with what they're saying in order to show that you understand. That's just the first step to moving towards a discussion rather than an argument. The thing is, as you get closer to someone, what they say is going to trigger you more. So, like, in my relationship, I don't think we had, we maybe had 3 spats in the first year. So that's that's pretty good going.
Well, I mean, it's interesting to hear you say it's good going, because I always thought that, now, keep in mind though, you remember
Yeah.
One of the things she said to me when she broke up with me, and you know what, I can't let this reverberate in my head because, I mean, honestly, she was mentally ill. That wasn't apparent to me at the time. One thing that reverberates in my head is she said that she broke up with me because one of the reasons she gave, she said, and again, you can't take it seriously, she said, "You're too nice. I can't imagine ever having an argument with you." But of course, that is because I think she came from an environment where, like, her parents were always fighting, and that's really what.
Yeah, of course.
That's what she knew.
And the thing is, there's some people who are in relationships where they're scared to bring anything up in case it starts an argument, and they just stuff all their feelings and needs. That's worse than never having any conflicts. But if you are going to have conflicts, you want to avoid having arguments. It's better to have a conflict that's a discussion rather than a conflict that's an argument.
Right. It's a little bit how I verbalize the difference between an argument and a debate.
Right.
One's more civilized than the other.
And even you can improve on a debate, which is, instead of having a debate, which is, again, can be oppositional, to share your knowledge with each other and see if you can reach a consensus. Because, again, one of the best things to do if you're going to get into a debate is, if someone says something you disagree with, before contradicting them, just ask them, how did you reach that conclusion?
Exactly. Yeah.
with curiosity, because
Right.
that already sets up a dynamic.
It sets up it's like an open exchange then.
Yes,
Right.
you've asked them to show you how they reached their conclusion. Now you've shown curiosity.
Right.
They're much more likely to hear your counterpoint as you sharing how you reach your conclusion, your reason and evidence, that they
Right.
can then integrate into what they already know, rather than you contradicting them and creating an oppositional relationship.
Yeah. This is true. Very true.